There is a war older than the mountains, older than the oceans, older than the human race itself. A war that began before the first man took his first breath. You cannot see the warriors, you cannot hear their footsteps. But they are here, closer to you than the beating of your own heart. Some of them are beings of light, pure and flawless, who want nothing more than to guide you to safety. Others are beings of fire, ancient and cunning, who live only to see you fail, fall, and be destroyed. And whether you believe it or not, you are the prize they're fighting for. Most people live their lives completely unaware of this conflict. They think their struggles are purely physical: money, health, relationships. But behind every temptation, every sudden whisper to do wrong, every spark of hope that lifts your heart, there is a force at work. This war is not fought in open fields, but in the unseen, inside your thoughts, your emotions, your desires. And you, without even realizing, are taking sides with every choice you make. To understand the depth of this war, you must first know the soldiers. The angels, created by Allah from pure light, are incapable of disobedience. They do exactly what they are commanded, without pride, without hesitation, without a single moment of rebellion. They are everywhere, carrying out countless duties, guarding the heavens, delivering revelation, recording every one of your deeds, protecting you from harm that was never destined to touch you. Their loyalty to Allah is absolute. Their presence is constant, even when you feel completely alone. Some descend in times of hardship to bring you peace. Others gather in places where Allah is remembered, surrounding believers with mercy so thick it cannot be measured. They witness your life from its first breath to its last moment, and their mission is simple: guide you, protect you, and testify for or against you on the day of judgment. And then there are the Jinn, created long before humans, shaped from smokeless fire. They were given free will just like us. Among them are believers, but many are rebellious, walking the path of arrogance and defiance. They can live longer than humans, travel faster than the eye can follow, and influence the heart in ways you might not even detect. The most dangerous of them all is Iblis, the one who refused to bow to Adam out of pride. Once considered among the righteous, his arrogance led to his downfall, and his hatred for mankind became eternal. From that day, he swore an oath before Allah to mislead every human he could. Until the end of time, the Jinn are masters of subtlety. They can plant a seed of doubt so quietly that you think it's your own thought. They can stir emotions, anger, jealousy, despair, until they consume you entirely. They can make sin look beautiful and obedience feel heavy, all while staying hidden in the shadows. And the scariest part, they never rest. While you sleep, while you work, while you laugh with your friends, they are studying you, your weaknesses, your habits, your desires. They know exactly how to strike. But the angels are not passive observers. They inspire goodness in your heart. They encourage your repentance. They make dua for you. When you make dua for others, every moment you resist a temptation, every time you turn to Allah instead of sin, you are answering their call. This is the real battlefield, not in the skies above or the earth below, but in the space between your faith and your desire. And from the second you were born until the moment your soul leaves your body, you will be part of this war. The question is, which side will you help win? Before the first human walked the earth, before the sound of human voices ever echoed in the valleys, the Jinn had already been living here for generations beyond count. They roamed the earth freely, unseen, building communities, raising families, and ruling over lands that no human eye would ever witness. But with that freedom came corruption. Many of the Jinn abandoned justice, spreading chaos, bloodshed, and destruction across the world. Allah, in his perfect wisdom, sent angels to bring order back to the earth, driving the most corrupt Jinn into remote places, scattered and weakened. Among these Jinn was one who stood out, not for his evil, but for his worship. His name was Iblis. Known for his dedication to Allah, Iblis was allowed to live among the angels as a mark of honor, a position no other Jinn had ever been given. He prayed alongside them, learned from them, and rose to a status admired by the hosts of heaven. Then came the moment that changed everything. Allah, in his infinite plan, announced the creation of a new being, man, formed from clay, shaped with his own hands, and honored with the breath of life directly from him. This was Adam, the father of humanity. The angels had never disobeyed a command, so when Allah ordered them to bow in respect to Adam, not as worship, but as an acknowledgement of this new creation, they bowed without hesitation. Every angel lowered themselves in obedience, except Iblis. In that moment the truth of his heart was revealed. Pride burned hotter than any fire he was made from. He looked at Adam, and saw not a creation to be honored, but a rival he could not accept. "I am better than him," Iblis declared. "You created me from fire, and you created him from clay." That single act of arrogance shattered his place among the obedient. Cast out of the heavenly ranks, Iblis was consumed, not by regret, but by rage. His fall from grace was not the end. It was the beginning of something far more dangerous. When Allah decreed his punishment, Iblis did not beg for forgiveness. Instead, he made a chilling request to be given life. Until the day of judgment, Allah granted it, not as mercy, but as part of the divine plan, a test for mankind. And with that, Iblis swore an oath before the Creator of all things. "By your might, I will mislead them all, except your sincere servants among them." This was no empty threat, it was a declaration of eternal war. From that moment, Iblis's mission became singular and relentless, to attack mankind from every direction, front, back, left and right, never giving rest, never pausing. His goal was not just to make people sin, but to pull them so far from Allah that they forget their purpose entirely. He would disguise falsehood as truth, make evil look beautiful, and convince people that the path to destruction was actually the path to freedom. And he would not fight alone. He would call upon generations of Jinn who shared his hatred for mankind, teaching them how to slip into human lives unseen, whispering into hearts, planting doubts, and pushing them step by step away from their Creator. This was the opening move of the hidden war, a war where the enemy's army could not be seen, but its influence could be felt everywhere. From the quiet temptation to skip a prayer to the raging anger that destroys relationships, to the despair that makes someone give up on Allah's mercy. And with every soul that turned away, Iblis believed he was proving his point, that mankind was unworthy of the honor Allah had given them. But Allah had already prepared his own army, an army of light, to stand against the whispers of the enemy. And in this war, every human would have to choose which side to stand with, knowingly or not. The angels are not distant, abstract beings who exist somewhere far beyond the reach of your life. They are here right now, closer than you can imagine, carrying out duties that touch every moment of your existence. Created from pure light, they are beings of absolute loyalty, incapable of disobedience to Allah. They never tire, they never sleep, and they never stop fulfilling the roles assigned to them. Some have been with you from the moment you were born, and will remain with you until the day your soul is taken. Two of them are constantly at your sides, recording every single deed done, one writing your good actions, the other your bad. They do not miss a word you speak or a movement you make, and they even record what you intended in your heart before you act. Others are appointed to protect you from harm by Allah's command, preventing disasters you never even knew were coming, keeping you safe from both seen and unseen dangers, until the moment your time on this earth is complete. There are angels whose mission is to bring tranquility to the hearts of the believers during prayer, whose presence fills the atmosphere when Allah is remembered, who gather in circles of knowledge and surround those present with wings of mercy. There are angels who carry your supplications to the heavens, angels who seek forgiveness for you as long as you are sincere, angels who descend in times of difficulty to strengthen your faith, and angels who will one day greet the faithful in paradise with words of peace and honor. They are everywhere yet never seen, and their loyalty to Allah and His servants is unshakable. But the Jinn, the army of Iblis, are no less committed to their own cause, and their methods are nothing like the straightforward, transparent work of the angels. Their greatest strength lies in deception. They do not approach you openly, declaring their intent to mislead. They slip into your life like shadows, whispering into the depths of your mind, so subtly that you believe those thoughts are your own. They take your weaknesses, your fears, and your desires, and twist them until they become chains around your heart. One moment it's a harmless suggestion to delay your prayer. The next, it's convincing you that prayer itself is too much of a burden. They can make what is sinful appear thrilling, even beautiful, while making obedience to Allah seem heavy, inconvenient, or unappealing. They feed on distraction, on moments when your guard is down, on times when your remembrance of Allah fades. They can use anger to push you into saying words you can't take back, jealousy to poison relationships, despair to make you feel as if Allah's mercy is beyond your reach, and their influence is constant. They do not take breaks. They do not rest. While you are awake, they prod you toward heedlessness. While you are asleep, they attempt to disturb your peace through nightmares or plant seeds of doubt in your They learn your habits, your patterns, your vulnerabilities, and they use them all as weapons in a war you may not even realize you are fighting. This is the quiet battlefield of your life. Angels pulling you toward the light, Jinn dragging you toward the fire, while every choice you make tilts the balance in one direction or the other. You might think you've never had a direct encounter with a Jinn, that their world is far removed from yours, sealed off in some unseen realm that never truly crosses into human life. But the reality is far more unsettling. Their presence can weave itself into your days so seamlessly that you wouldn't even recognize it. That sudden surge of anger that explodes over something trivial. The momentary temptation to say something cruel when silence would have been better. The unexplainable wave of laziness that washes over you just as it's time to pray. All of these can be signs of their influence. They slip into moments of vulnerability, like thieves in the night, taking advantage of times when your faith is distracted or your heart is heavy. Sometimes they work subtly, whispering doubts that make you question your purpose, your worth, even the truth itself. Other times they push more aggressively, creating conflict between you and others, driving wedges into families, friendships, and communities. Their greatest success is when you think these thoughts and emotions are entirely your own, when you fail to see that a shadow is moving just beneath the surface, guiding your steps away from the path of obedience without ever revealing its hand. But just as you are never beyond their reach, you are also never without protection. Even now, as you live your ordinary life, there are angels beside you, witnesses to every breath you take, every word you utter, every act you perform, good or bad. Two of them never leave your side, one on your right, recording the good, one on your left, recording the bad. They do not miss a sigh of regret for a sin, nor do they fail to note the smallest act of kindness. Their records are perfect, without error, without bias. Beyond them, there are angels whose duties go beyond recording. Some roam the earth, seeking out gatherings where Allah is remembered, places where people recite Quran, make dua, or learn knowledge together. And when they find them, they surround those people, enveloping them in tranquility, bringing down waves of mercy from the heavens. Others protect you in ways you cannot imagine, preventing accidents that would have harmed you, shielding you from unseen forces that sought to cause you. There are angels who carry your prayers to the heavens, presenting them before Allah, and angels who make dua for you without you even knowing, simply because of an act of kindness you performed or a prayer you made for someone else. They are tireless, loyal, and unshakable, working in silence while your life unfolds, pulling you gently but persistently toward the light, toward safety, toward the peace that Iblis and his followers will do anything to keep you from reach. And in this constant tug of war over your soul, their presence is your greatest unseen blessing. The true battlefield is not in some faraway dimension or distant realm. It is right here within you, in the depths of your heart and mind. Every day, this battleground is alive with opposing forces. On one side, angels inspire you with thoughts of goodness, urging you to speak truth, to show kindness, to fulfill your prayers, to remember Allah in moments when you might otherwise forget. Their influence is pure and gentle, never forcing, but always guiding you toward what will save you. On the other side, the devils among the Jinn push in the opposite direction, They seek to darken the heart, to distract it, to fill it with arrogance, envy, greed, and despair. They attack when you are vulnerable, when you're tired, stressed, lonely, or angry, because they know that in these moments your guard is weak. Every decision you make, every temptation you resist or give in to, every time you choose obedience over sin or sin over obedience, you are taking a step toward one side and away from the other. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's as subtle as the choice to stay silent when you want to gossip or to forgive when you want to hold a grudge. But in the unseen world, these small victories and defeats are significant. The angels rejoice when you push back against a whisper, and the jinn celebrate when you let it take root. This is why the Quran calls the human soul to be aware, to guard itself, to recognize that every heartbeat is part of a greater war for your eternal destiny. And in this war, one of the most powerful shields you have is dhikr, the remembrance of Allah. The Prophet taught us that dhikr is not just words on the tongue, but a fortress that surrounds the believer, making it harder for the jinn to approach. Reciting At al-Kursi after each prayer and before sleeping forms a barrier they cannot pass. Beginning every action with Bismillah cuts off their influence before it can even begin. The morning and evening adhkar act like armor, guarding you from harm in the day ahead and through the night to come. Even a simple Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, or Allahu Akbar carries weight in the unseen, weakening the grip of shaitan over your thoughts. The jinn despise dhikr because it exposes their weakness. It reminds them of Allah's authority and strips them of their power over the believer's heart. When you fill your life with the remembrance of Allah, their whispers lose their sharpness, their traps lose their appeal, and their plans crumble before they can take root. Dhikr keeps your heart alive, your mind clear, and your soul anchored in truth, so that when the battle comes, and it will come, you will not be standing unarmed. Though the jinn may appear powerful in their ability to whisper, influence, and tempt, their strength is nothing compared to the believer who stands firm in faith. Their power is not absolute. It thrives only in the presence of weakness, heedlessness, and neglect of Allah's remembrance. The moment a believer remembers Allah sincerely, the grip of the jinn weakens, their whispers fade, and their ability to mislead begins to collapse. They are cowards in the face of true faith, retreating when the heart is filled with certainty and the tongue is engaged in dhikr. A person who guards their prayers, keeps their tongue moist with remembrance, and constantly seeks Allah's protection, walks with a shield the jinn cannot penetrate. This is why the Prophet warned that shaitan flows through the human like blood flows through the vein. Yet he also taught us that sincere worship is like shutting the door to their entry. When you align yourself fully with the commands of Allah, when you strive to purify your heart and guard your senses from what displeases Him, the jinn find no opening to exploit. Their only real weapon is deception, and once you recognize their tricks for what they are, their strength dissolves. In truth, they are far weaker than they want you to believe. Their entire strategy rests on convincing you that they are stronger than you, that resistance is useless. But the reality is that a single sincere Amantu Billah, I believe in Allah, can bring their plans to nothing. And when the forces of falsehood grow bold, when the weight of evil threatens to crush the believers, Allah has shown that His army of angels is not confined to the unseen. In moments of immense trial, He has sent them down to intervene, to fight alongside those who stand for truth. The Quran tells us of the battles in the time of the Prophet, when the believers were outnumbered, outarmed, and facing certain defeat in worldly terms. At Badr, they stood with hearts trembling, not from lack of faith, but from the sheer reality of what stood before them. And then came the promise of Allah that He would send down 1,000 angels, rank after rank, to strengthen the believers. These angels did not merely observe, they struck the enemies of truth. They cast fear into the hearts of those who opposed Allah, and they filled the believers with courage that no ordinary man could summon on his own. This was not the only time such help was given. At Uhud, at Hunain, and in other moments of desperation, Allah reminded his servants that the unseen army is real, and that no force on earth can overpower his will. The angels descend when he commands, not for every battle of this world, but for the battles that carry the weight of truth against falsehood. When they come, they bring with them victory written before the fight even begins, and they leave no doubt that the forces of light are always watching, always ready to act when the decree of Allah is given. This is a reminder that the believer is never truly alone, that beyond the realm of sight, there are warriors of light, ready to defend the path of truth, and that no matter how overwhelming the odds may seem, Allah's help can arrive in ways the human mind cannot even begin to imagine. One of the most dangerous traps the Jinn set is the illusion of friendship and helpfulness. They can appear to certain people as protectors, advisors, or even sources of hidden knowledge, pretending to offer guidance or assistance in times of need. Some may present themselves in dreams, others through whispers, claiming to bring solutions to problems or to reveal secrets about the unseen, but their help always comes at a cost, even if it is not demanded immediately. At first, it might be something seemingly harmless, a suggestion to perform a small ritual not found in the Quran or Sunnah, or to recite certain words that have no basis in Islam. Over time, these demands grow bolder, pushing the person further from the path of Allah. The Jinn know how to cloak disobedience in the appearance of spirituality, leading a person into subtle acts of shirk without them realizing it. They might make someone feel powerful, chosen, or enlightened, but in reality they are binding that person with invisible chains. Once these chains tighten, the person's reliance shifts away from Allah and toward the Jinn. And this is exactly where Iblis wants them, trusting the enemy instead of the Creator. The Prophet warned us that seeking the aid of Jinn, even for good intentions, opens a door that should never be opened. What begins as curiosity or desperation can end in total spiritual ruin. True help only comes from Allah, and any gift from the Jinn is a poisoned blade hidden inside a smile. Their deception doesn't stop when you close your eyes for the night. Sleep itself can become a battlefield. Dreams are not all the same. Some are true and inspired by Allah, a form of glad tidings sent by the angels. Others are simply reflections of your daily thoughts and emotions, the mind's way of sorting through what it has absorbed. But then there are the dreams sent by Shaitan and the rebellious Jinn, nightmares meant to disturb your peace, to frighten you, to plant seeds of fear or despair. These dreams can be so vivid, so intense, that they linger long after you wake, influencing your mood, your confidence, even your faith. They may bring images that shake your trust, temptations that pull at your desires, or scenes that make you doubt what is real. The Prophet taught that if you see a dream from Shaitan, you should seek refuge in Allah. Spit lightly to your left 3 times and never tell anyone about it. Before sleeping, there are protections that act as a shield, reciting Ayat al-Kursi, the last 2 verses of Surah al-Baqarah, Surah al-Ikhlas, al-Falaq, and an-Nas, as well as making the evening adhkar. These are not empty rituals. They are fortifications in the unseen, surrounding you with a defense that the Jinn cannot penetrate. When a believer takes these steps, their sleep becomes a place of safety, guarded by angels and free from the corruption that Shaitan seeks to plant in the night. The Jinn may roam freely in the darkness, but they cannot cross the boundaries set by the remembrance of Allah, and they cannot harm the one who sleeps under his protection. Though rare, there are moments when the influence of the Jinn moves beyond whispers and manipulation into direct harm, and in some cases, even possession. This is when a rebellious Jinn takes hold of a person's body or mind, disrupting their thoughts, speech, and behavior. Sometimes it manifests as sudden changes in personality, unexplained bursts of rage, deep depression, or aversion to anything connected to faith. Unable to hear the Quran without discomfort, unable to enter a mosque, unable to say the name of Allah without pain. Other times it can cause physical symptoms that doctors cannot explain, illnesses that come and go without cause, strange voices heard when no one is there, or shadows seen only in the corner of one's eye. In the most severe cases, the possessed person may speak in voices not their own, display strength beyond normal limits, or reveal knowledge they could not have learned naturally. While this reality is frightening, Allah has not left us without defense. The Quran and Sunnah provide the remedy through ruqya, recitation of Quranic verses, and authentic supplications performed with sincerity and reliance on Allah alone. Ayat al-Kursi, Surah al-Falaq, Surah an-Nas, and other passages are like spears of light, forcing the jinn to retreat. But ruqya is not magic in itself. It is only effective when the heart of the one performing it trusts entirely in Allah's power, knowing that no harm can befall except by His will. Just as important as treatment is prevention. Living a life anchored in prayer, dhikr, and obedience leaves little opening for the enemy to enter. The jinn are opportunists. They look for cracks in faith, sins left unrepented, hearts left unguarded. When the light of Iman fills a person's life, those cracks close, and the enemy finds no way in. And when the final moment comes, the instant the soul is to be taken, the presence of angels becomes more direct than at any other time in life. For the believer who lived in obedience, angels descend with faces as radiant as the sun, carrying shrouds from paradise and perfume sweeter than anything on earth. They greet the soul with words of peace, telling it not to fear and not to grieve, but to rejoice in the mercy and honor awaiting it. They extract the soul gently, like water flowing from a jug, wrapping it in the heavenly cloth, filling the air with a fragrance that even the inhabitants of the heavens will notice as it is carried upward. The journey is a procession of honor, welcomed at each gate of heaven, until it reaches the presence of Allah. But for the disbeliever or the rebellious sinner, the scene is entirely different. The angels who arrive are stern and unyielding, their faces filled with severity. They rip the soul from the body like a thorny branch pulled through wet wool, causing pain beyond anything experienced in life. This soul is wrapped in cloth from hell, carrying a stench more foul than anything known in the world. And as it is taken upward, the gates of heaven refuse. These moments mark the final separation of friend from foe, of the obedient from the rebellious, and they serve as a reminder that the angels have always been with us, watching, recording, guiding, and that in the end, they will be the ones to escort us into our eternal home, whether it be one of peace or one of regret. Until the very last heartbeat, the jinn do not relent in their mission. They know their time with you is running out, so they intensify their efforts in those final moments of your life. As your soul begins to loosen from the body and the unseen realm draws near, they will attempt their most desperate attacks. They will whisper doubts into your heart, trying to shake your trust in Allah at the very last breath. They may flood your mind with memories of sins to make you believe that forgiveness is impossible. Or they may tempt you with false promises, urging you to cling to the life you are leaving behind. Shaitan's goal in this moment is simple: to make you die in a state of disbelief or heedlessness, to rob you of the reward of a lifetime of faith. But for the one who has prepared for this moment, who has filled their life with remembrance, repentance, and trust in Allah, the final stand of the jinn becomes powerless. If the believer clings to the testimony of faith, La ilaha illallah, with sincerity, even as the body weakens and the world fades away, then the angels take over the scene. Their presence drives away the devils, their voices bring calm to the heart, and they carry the soul into safety. This moment is the ultimate victory in the hidden war to leave the world with faith intact, escorted by the army of light beyond the reach of the enemy forever. When the day of judgment arrives, the role of the angels becomes more visible and more awe-inspiring than at any point in history. The skies will split, the earth will shake, and the angels will descend in ranks beyond counting, filling every horizon. They will come in perfect order, each group assigned to its task by Allah Himself. Some will carry the throne of Allah, a responsibility so great that their sheer size and power are beyond human comprehension. Yet their humility before their Lord is absolute. Others will bring forth the records of every soul, opening the books that contain every deed, word and thought from a person's life. No detail will be missing, no moment forgotten. Angels will stand as witnesses, testifying to the truth of what they saw, leaving no room for denial. They will drive the criminals toward their fate, surrounding them so there is no escape, while at the same time escorting the believers to the shade of Allah's mercy. The Quran describes them standing in rows, never speaking except when permitted, waiting in complete submission for Allah's command to begin the final judgment. Their presence will fill the air with a weight unlike anything ever felt before. Silence charged with the knowledge that every soul is about to face its eternal decree. And in that moment, all of creation will understand the full reality of the war that had been hidden in life, that every whisper resisted, every prayer performed, every sin repented for, was part of a struggle that led to this day. When the angels stand as both guardians and witnesses, and the destiny of every soul is decided without error or delay. When the judgment is complete and the people of faith are separated from the people of falsehood, the long reign of Shaitan and his followers finally meets its end. From the moment he refused to bow to Adam until this final hour, Iblis has poured every breath, every thought, every ounce of his being into misleading mankind. He has watched generation after generation fall into his traps, seen nations rise and crumble under the weight of sin, and whispered to both kings and beggars alike, convincing them to exchange eternal peace for temporary pleasures. But now, the game is over. His arguments, once so cunning, are stripped of all their power. His promises, once so tempting, are revealed as lies. On this day, he will address those who followed him, not with loyalty or gratitude, but with abandonment. The Quran tells us his words, "Indeed, I disowned you before. I am free of you today. I call you, and you answer me. No, you answer Allah. For me, I reject your worship of me. The wrongdoers will have a painful punishment." 14:22. He will declare that he had no true authority over them except that he called and they answered. He will admit that he cannot help them now, nor can they help him, and that their fate is sealed. In the end, the great deceiver stands exposed as the greatest loser, dragged with his armies and his willing followers into hell, their war against mankind ending in complete and eternal failure. The angels will seal the gates behind them, and the fire they had worked so hard to lead others into will now be their own prison, stretching endlessly in every direction. This is the moment when the hidden war is revealed for what it truly was, a desperate and doomed rebellion against the Creator, a rebellion that could never succeed. But for you, for every soul still breathing today, the war is not over yet. Every moment you remain alive is a chance to choose your side. You are not powerless in this conflict. In fact, you are the deciding factor in your own outcome. The angels call you toward faith, toward obedience, toward the light that leads to eternal safety. The Jinn pull you toward heedlessness, sin, and destruction. Every thought, every word, every action tips the scale in one direction or the other. You cannot stay neutral, because even doing nothing is a choice, and inaction often serves the enemy. The Quran paints the image of the believers on the day of judgment, welcomed by the angels with words of peace. Peace be upon you for what you patiently endured, and excellent is the final home. 13:24. These are not empty words, they are the greeting of victory for those who stood firm in a lifetime of unseen battles. And the beauty of it all is that the path to this victory is open to anyone. Whether you have walked in darkness for years or have stumbled only recently, the way back to the light is always there. It begins with turning to Allah sincerely, protecting your heart with remembrance, filling your days with worship, and seeking forgiveness for every step taken toward the enemy. If you live with the awareness that you are part of this unseen war, you will begin to notice the whispers for what they are, the moments of inspiration for what they mean, and the reality that you are never alone. And when your own final hour comes, the choice you made will determine who surrounds you, whether it is the stern grip of the angels of punishment or the gentle hands of the angels of mercy. The war may be hidden now, but the outcome will be seen by all. And on that day, may you stand among those who fought well, endured with patience, and earned the eternal peace that no enemy can ever take away.